kicked off. Gompers, there's some prize money involved. It's been bumped from previous Game Changers Academies. What are we looking at this time?
Prize money wise?
Oh, yeah, girl. Let's talk about money.
Let's talk about money. Um, to be honest, I completely forgot how much was on the game. Delta, if you could fill me in for a second.
Yeah, so we have upped the prize money just a little bit. We have prize money for the top two teams. So it should be 1,400 going to the number one finisher for this tournament. And the rest of the pool will be going to second place. So the top two teams will be able to leave the tournament with some money in the bank.
Yes, so we love to see it for sure. All right, well, we have 16 teams on deck ready to go. Groups, as Delta said, are happening today, and we're going to get to watch three of those matchups right here live on the broadcast. So I'm not sure if we want to do a little kind of touching on some of the squads that are here right now. We don't have any graphics, beautiful things to show you guys right now to give you a little context for easily following along. But I don't know, Delta Gompers, if anybody wants to kind of lead on that to decide and maybe kick off some of your favorite squads that are here right now for our July Game Changers Academy.
Yeah. So we basically have a mix and match of teams that we've seen before and some new teams. So you'll recognize some teams from the previous Game Changers Academies as well as the full Game Changers series. So teams such as Man, I Love FROGS, GX3, Just Breathe, Gen.G Team Bumble. So, some of the favorites from tournaments past, but we also have some new faces. So soccer esports, we've seen them, you know, start to recruit on Twitter, but this will be their debut tournament. So a new face for us to kind of catch along for today. There are also teams that, just started competing maybe for the Sakura Cup series, or rather than having that long history that we've seen with Unbind Crouch. So, for example, Team Fatality, we haven't seen much of them, so they're a relatively new face. So, again, it's a mix and match of faces of old and teams that are just trying to get their face in the Game Changers Academy and get some of that competitive experience that these tournaments are meant to do.
Yeah, to kind of elaborate a little bit on that too, Delta, it's that we have, of course, we're seeing some new squads, as you had mentioned, but they consist of some very familiar faces. Everyone's trying to find out their squad they vibe with to get that top quality five to keep advancing up through. I'd like to call this, paths to pro, basically. So, really great things happening here with the Game Changers Academy being able to allow that opportunity for players to test their skills out, test out things in a competitive environment. And that's what the greatness is happening right here by Gen.G. So we're very thankful for that. So we're excited. Let's talk about our first matchup then, right now, right? And that's going to be a couple of teams we do know very well. That's going to be Man I Love Wogs versus Just Breathe. Gompers, which ones would you want to talk about right now? Maybe a favorite on your top of your mind?
I'm a little new to the competitive scene, but I have seen a little bit of, vlogs, gameplay, as well as Just Breathe. I do know that, in the last Game Changers, they Just Frogs couldn't really make it out of qualifiers, but I'm hoping to see something different coming out of them today. I really am, especially since, a lot of people that I know have been talking about them pretty highly. So I want to see what I've been hearing.
All right, let's give a little context for Just Breathe, Delta.
Yeah, so I mentioned earlier the mix and match of teams, but even within the teams, there are mix and matches. So ever since the last Game Changers series, we've had a lot of the players, switch sides, so to speak. So for example, we have Zoe playing on Just Breathe today, so she'll be filling in. So that's another mix. We have a mix for Man I Love Frogs. I don't think we've seen on stream at least Appidays play for that team just yet. So another mix. So even though we've seen these names before, we haven't exactly seen these comps before, and so there's still something new to learn, and these games should be exciting to see what they've been able to cook up since the last tournament.
Yeah, so it's looking like Banala Fogs working with the new fifth in Appidays and Just Breathe with two new fill ins, Zoe and Rush, coming in. So you know, Manila FROGS seemingly with the 4 of the core, that is the squad, could pose benefit to them or Just Breathe coming in hot. You know, they got TSM's Zoe up in there, so not sure how fair that is. But we do have a little couples rivalry already going down. So for you viewers, if you're wanting to know, this is definitely, you know, Gomper's nodding your head. Yes, yes. Who are we looking out for? Maybe we're gonna see some of them highlighted during the broadcast too to see if they come after each other. Who are we talking about there, Gompers?
Honestly, I'm not completely sure. It does seem
Oh,
like Just Breathe, they have a pretty good lineup. You know, they've been playing together for a fair amount of time, especially since you know, Vlogs is kind of getting their stuff together, but there's a lot more history with Just Breeze there, so I'm kind of leaning towards. I'm seeing a little bit of Zoe. I'm hoping to see some, you know, couple action there. I love a little bit of couple rivalry, so I'm hoping Zoe might bring it up just a little bit.
yeah, Zoe versus, and she's filling in on Just Breathe, but the Manila Fwog staple Ellie Twitches, guys. So be looking out for that. I don't know if any of you are here or subscribers to them, if both of those women stream, but definitely be dropping all of their emotes for sure. So while we get this lobby set up, not sure if we're quite underway, ready to go just yet. Love to build up a little rivalry here going down. It's going to be great situations. Oh, actually, it's looking like we're going to be jumping into our first map here very shortly. Let's talk about it though. The first map up is going to be Breeze, looks like. Am I right?
Yep, you're exactly right. We're on
Yeah.
Breeze. So for this tournament, we are having full set of maps, full set of players and agents available for play. So pretty much anything goes at this point. They've had the time to kind of get their uh, strategies together for how to play Breeze and if they want to use KO or not. So I'm looking forward to see how they're able to incorporate that for the Academy series.
Ooh, KO. Gompers, do you have any experience with that agent just yet?
KO? No, I am a duelist one trick. I'm sorry to say it. You know, I love me a little bit of Reina. So, you know, hoping to see some Reina plays or, you know, a really, really good opping jet.
All right. Yeah, well, I'm just excited to see just kind of it's a no holds bar anymore right now. Everything's available, you know, all the maps are available, all the agents are available. So this should be really spicy. And I forgot, yes, we are doing a best of one, of course, groups. So this isn't the first, it's the only one between these two right now to see how things are going to fare
Select your
moving
agent.
forward. So I believe as they are selecting on in, I am just here waiting to see what's going to be going down with this matchup. Not sure if I should be giving it to Delta and
Yeah,
Gompers at this time, but
z- yeah.
I
We'll
feel like
take it from here. I think all of the picks are in. I was a little bit worried because the timer went down,
Okay,
but they were
gamers.
just trying to
Good luck,
take
have
things
fun.
over. So thanks for hosting, Lucy, and we'll see you in a little bit. Okay. Oh, and we also see, you know, that VCT Game Changers tag coming out. I love to see that. That was kind of a perk of the last Game Changer series. So we might see some of the players also kind of sport in that as well. All right. Let's see here. So we have pretty much, you know, with Breeze, the compositions haven't really been settled just yet. You know, people are still trying to figure out, teams are still trying to figure out what is the best composition. It seems to be right now that the Viper and the Sky pick are the most popular picks. So we do have both of those coming out on Team Vlogs and Just Breathe. So the rest,
Thanks.
it looks to be a mirror comp. So
Deploying
won't
drone.
have too many differences from that standpoint.
Yeah, Just Breathe. Getting aggressive here on the side with Viper on Frog side, having to kind of sit there by herself, waiting for the rotation, getting picked off by Milky Way there. Very unlucky for her. Although it seems like they do have the site. They are going to get that spike down. They're going to have to play for a pretty strong retake here, especially with that Viper utility.
Yeah, already so much action on the B site, spike down very quickly. But, you know, FROGS is very capable for the retake and able to have enough flashes to get in to do this retake.
Kara playing here behind that little wall there and getting a pick off of Ellie. That was beautiful there. Although Chloe only 22 health, trying to get this retake in, but she's not able to get one. And Natty getting that 2K to put their first point on the board for Frogs.
Okay, so first point on the board for the Frogs, and it looks like, you know, typically from winning the pistol round, you know, you'll have a buy up to SMGs, and what we are seeing. Well, yeah. Oh, apologies, my thing's a little bit mixed up. So Just Breathe winning, buying up to SMGs with Frogs, you know, staying on a pistol and approaching the A site, already having a Tasmanian Tiger in to try to get that space and able to get on the site with pretty much that much ease.
Kara already getting the spike down. They have the sites. They're really, really aggressive. They're getting these sites fairly easy on their side, but it seems like, once again, they're going to have to play for a really strong retake here. They're playing their post-plan positions, hoping to kind of, like, keep the positions that they're at, and they're really playing their spots extremely well, already making it a 2v3-4 situation. And Dinos, with only 3 health, a Slither just trying to make it by, but Milky Way's gonna run and gun and take out Dinos, giving it an 0-2.
Hey, wow, Rush and Natty just cleaning things up. I mean, we expected them to win that round with that buy up. So with that being said, Frogs will now be doing their rifle investment, while Just Breathe doing that typical bonus round. And it looks like Just Breathe will be doing an A push again. Frogs keeping with that default approach, but we'll be having to face off with 3 members on the A site.
Ova, Cho trying to get a little bit of information with that dart. Although they're not really mid, they're kind of going up here in this little hallway and lifting up that door, giving Jet on Frog's side a little bit of information, knowing where they are. Chloe sitting here waiting for a push on Just Breathe's side, but they're going to get on the site. They're hopefully getting a spike down. And Chloe kind of sitting there getting picked off by Natty. Already a 3v3 here. Although Cho with the 3K getting 3 down for Frogs putting their first point down on the board. That was amazing for Cho. She really played that extremely well.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Frogs able to at least win their rifle round. I did like the approach we saw from Just Breathe, you know, going up into the hallway, trying to get control of that. And while that seemed to work out, Frogs just was able to pretty much outgun them. And it looks like, though, with that point, having a bit of a frazzled buy for this next round, going up against Just Breathe with 4 rifles.
Right, Natty trying to get some information there to at least give them an indication that they can go in, which they did. They once again went on the site, full rush. Cho trying to get a pick or 2, but kind of sitting there waiting for Milky Way to kind of go through that smoke, and she does, but Milky Way getting that pick off of Cho. Terrible. That was very close for Cho. Cho could have had that, but it seems like she just kind of wide swung that. She was not expecting that push, but Kara with the 3K, leaving 5 people on the board for Just Breathe, and they have it with Kara making it a 4K. Amazing play by a Sage player. That was like attack Sage to the max.
Oh, yeah, no, Kara, she was just owning that round. And again, I love the aggression they're having on this A side. They continue to go the A sides. Looks like they're going to try that again. So able to make enough space. They did use the Seekers. They got a little caught on the wall there, but nonetheless, they were able to secure that round. Frogs this time, again, investing 3 members onto the A site, unbeknownst that it's going to be another A hit.
Scout destroyed.
You know, one thing I've noticed, especially on Just Breathe's side, they have gotten this site probably more than what they should have. they play behind this Viper smoke here, and it's impossible for them to kind of provoke them from getting on site. But Dinos is watching this angle here, hoping to get something to give her team that 1 point that they really need to get closer and closer to Just Breathe. But it's just not working out for them with Milky Way getting that pick off Dinos. Their only smokes on the side with Jet. Oh, getting a nasty pick off Natty, making it a 2K. Oh, really helping out the team there. And Apide is just going in with the team, playing together. But Zoe with a humongous flank, getting a 3K, taking over, not giving them a chance to tie it up.
Okay. I think there's a little competition in Just Breathe to see who can pop off the most. I mean, so Zoe definitely cleaning that round up. Just Breathe, just making sure that these A hits aren't being predictable. So this time they decided to be a little bit slower onto their approach. So FROGS didn't exactly rotate in time. You saw that they started to rotate and they're like, maybe it could be the B, but no, it's the A again. So this time Just Breathe looking to change their mind, but have conditioned FROGS to be on the A site. So you can see that they're pretty much rotating so early on while the B site is completely clear.
They're doing a little bit of a different approach on Just Breathe's side. They're not going in together. They're playing a little bit of a default, hoping to get some picks, but B site is completely open with Natty getting picked up by Dinos. You know, they have that site, but it is only 3 people. You know, the ones that went to A were very unlucky because everyone was A. Everyone was sitting A, kind of stacking it, but it is looking pretty good. Milky Way getting that pick off of Chloe, that was huge for Just Breathe, making it a 4v3. You know, it's very possible. Milky Way getting another one for the team. She is completely, you know, she might honestly win them this round.
Oh, yes, but, you know, FROGS is going to attempt this retake, having a split approach onto site, but who can retake with Kara out on the pro?
Oh, and Milky Way once again. And Milky Way and Kara play this extremely well. You know, that default, it was looking a little bit scary and sketchy, especially since those two that went and scattered A did die, but they ended up kind of taking it and you know, really winning, giving them a 1v5.
Yeah, I mean, you can see that Just Breathe is in the minds of FROGS. I mean, FROGS is already doing a timeout because, I mean, they're just in their heads. You saw that egg site that they kept conditioning that made the FROGS do that early rotate. And while they were able to, while Just Breathe did have pressure on the A side with those 2 members and FROGS caught them out, there was so much time that was left because the plant went down clean. They were able to get their post plant positioning just perfect, and it just started to tumble from there. So FROGS was not able to pick up that last round. So hopefully with this timeout, they'll be able to regroup, think things through, try not to let Just Breathe get into their heads. It looks like Just Breathe, though, are leaning towards the A site. So we'll see what other forms of trickery that they have up their sleeves.
Yeah, most definitely. You know, last run, it really did help them, especially having that information that majority of them were A. You know, they knew where to look. They had pretty good post-plan positioning, which I've seen a lot. They tend to have these angles that the enemy team just can't really do anything against, but right here, we have Skye going in with her dog. That's already getting destroyed, but they have that information of where Ellie might be sitting. She's just kind of waiting there, holding that angle. This might be a little bit of a harder push for them, especially with that, with that ult coming out on Just Breathe's side. Kind of stunning Ellie there, but Ellie's stuck in a position, and Milky Way spraying exactly where Ellie is, getting her out. You know, that was huge. She sprayed and she was like, I know where you are. You can't hide from me. They already have this site on lockdown.
Yeah, that Viper Pit is just going to make it that much more difficult to do this retake. All of that vision being obscured. They have no idea where Just Breathe is hiding for their post-plant positioning.
Apide, she has this res here, but she can't really use it. She's in a bad position. You know, even if she did use it, someone might swing out and take it out, but Apide is taking out Milky Way. Oh, although Kara getting traded off by Apadace. Apadace on a roll, but getting taken off by Rush. Cho having to fend for herself, but Natty going in with Zoe, getting a trade off. 1 and 6, that's pretty harsh.
Oh, it's pretty harsh. I mean, FROGS made a significant investment into that round nonetheless. So you saw an operator coming out from Chloe. We saw Hunter's Fury coming out as well and still unable to retake the site. And Just Breathe, making it look quite easy. We've seen this approach before with the dog coming in, the Seekers coming out to clear out the site. But yet, the FROGS are just getting outgunned and outplayed. So right with that, they're on already a save round, and we see just one Bucky and an SMG coming out. So that much more difficult for them to do this retake on the A site.
Oh, that's interesting. They're going down that little...
The shoot.
That little weird door, the shoot there, and they're going up mid. I've never seen that before, and it's working. They're kind of getting on B site pretty free here in Milky Way. She might be able to get this pick off of Apadace. Apadace knowing where they are. She kind of hears them, their footsteps pretty loud. Oh, it's Zoe taking out Dinos with that huge wide swing. Milky Way getting thirsty for Apadace there, trying to take her out, but she's just not able to get it because Chloe just has her back. Oh, although Ellie by herself, and you know, Just Breathe, just their executions are amazing, and it's really hard to go against that Viper lineups and setups that they have going on.
Yeah, Zoe just has their number. You saw that she was pretty much making sure no one was able to come up the side of the flank. And just making that approach that you saw through mid, that very interesting approach through the shoot, that much more successful. And they're clawing their way that much further away from the FROGS, making this lead just that much more impressive.
Rush droning in here. Information, didn't get any, although it seems like they really like A side here for FROGS side. They do tend to sit here a lot of them are. You know, they leave Viper on B side by herself pretty frequently, which, although I still don't understand how Just Breathe is getting these sites so easy. They get on site and they rush it. Oh, Kara with the res here, taking out Chloe, making it a 3v4. They're gonna have to play for a pretty good retake here. Apadace still having that res. Good attempt. Although she's not gonna use it, she's pretty confident in herself. Oh, although it is a 1v3, you know, she could use the res and get another player to kind of help her out, but they're in a bad situation. Although now that Viper lineup's there, she could possibly try to get something out of it, but they're all kind of sitting in the same position here. It's going to be pretty hard for Apadace to clutch this round.
Wow, so clean from Just Breathe. I mean, you can tell that this team has been working on their strategies for the last few weeks. Everything is just so cleanly done with their executes. Their utility usage is just perfect. You can tell that they're like never short for utility at the end of the round. They are very meticulous in what they're using, how they're getting onto site using Sky. Even with their post plans, you can see that Zoe is just making sure to watch the flank and also to have that post plant molly available. It's just amazing to see.
Oh, Dino is taking out Milky Way. A 5v4. You know, this could be very winnable, especially since, you know, I haven't seen much of B play coming out of Just Breathe. I've seen a lot of Ace, but it seems like B isn't their site. You know, they had a pretty hard time rushing that, and now they're going to have to settle for mid to A.
Yeah, so the Seekers were able to catch them out, so they have an idea that they're going up through mid, but let's see if they're able to act on this information.
Oh, Cho's hiding behind box, waiting for that flash. Getting a little bit of a damage off of Cho and killing Cho with that shock dart. That was huge. You know, it is now a 4v3. Viper having a little bit of health left to kind of defend herself. She has to be able to rely on Sky there. Oh, but she's getting kicked out one by FROGS, and Chloe getting that last pick off, making it a 2v8, getting a point on the board. That's huge.
yeah, point that they needed to be able to stay in this half. We hopefully were able to see a couple more of these strung together. I loved some of the plays we saw with Abidaze and the Marshall, you know, the mini operator. So those picks were very impactful for that retake, and they were able to upgrade to rifles. So overall, not too difficult since their economy is a bit rough. That it's helpful when you're able to pick off some weapons off of your opponents.
Yeah, most definitely.
Let's fly.
You know, their eco, it isn't, you know, looking, it's going up. You know, FROGS was having a pretty rough time with their economy, especially since they were losing all these rounds. But right now, it's seeming like they're making the best out of it. You know, that win really helped them economy-wise. But right here, they're getting walled off by Abidaze. Pretty clever wall. They're gonna have to try to, you know, go around if they really do want to push A. But it seems like here they're kind of wavering. They don't know what to do. And Milky Way getting a flank here with that Sage. Oh, and Kara and Natty getting those picks off. Although now it's a 3v3. Sky can't heal herself. She's gonna have to play this a little smart, you know, on Just Breathe side.
Yeah, but we already see a 3v3 for this retake. It's a good position we haven't seen them in before. And this Hunter's Fury is able to connect. Did some damage, but still helpful in trying to make space for this retake.
That Viper Molly was just a little bit off of that pyramid. You know, Sova with that Hunter's Fury, he almost did get Natty, but it was like a little bit of an inch away from Natty, and you know, it would have been huge. But Natty getting a pick off Joe with that health, and Zoe taking out Genos. They won that. They really did, and they were, you know, everyone on FROG's side was full health, but Just Breathe just connected the dots, and they just got all the headshots.
Yeah, but I did like the attempt FROGS did. So they're trying to change things up. They have realized, you know, Just Breathe tends to like A, so they tried to stop them in their tracks with that wall, and it did, you know, slow them down just a little bit. They were like, oh, this is new. So they were trying to work around the wall. They ended up doing so, winning that plant on the A site. But I do like what FROGS is doing, trying to mix this up. And now we have the Viper's Pit coming out again, another tactic to stall them out.
You know, even though Viper's Pit was there, everyone on Just Breathe side said, I don't care. They rushed that Viper's Pit and they said, this is my site. Like, you can't have this. This is not yours. You know, they took it, and now they have the bomb down with a 5v4 here. It is, you know, looking pretty good for FROGS. Hopefully they can get a pick off, but Chloe having this pistol, they're kind of saving a little bit here. It's looking a little rough for Chloe, especially with that health, but oh, they did get 2 picks off, and now Kara having to get a pick for the team. Just so much happening at once, but FROGS, 3rd point on the board, slowly climbing back up and retaking, you know, what should be theirs.
Yeah, I mean, as we're going to this new half, it's a new start that the FROGS need to regroup. I mean, we know that the FROGS in FROGS past, they have known to be an aggressive team, and so hopefully they'll be able to counter the aggression we see from Just Breathe on their attack. I mean, so quick with their push onto site. FROGS could barely respond to many of the pushes we saw. You know, that wall come down to try to slow things down, the Viper's Pit, but like you said, they just were like, Viper's Pit, what? No, we'll just walk through that. Or run through that.
Yeah, it was like walking through like nothing. Like it wasn't even there. Like if we didn't call that out, it wouldn't have mattered. Yeah.
So hopefully FROGS will be able on this A push to change things up, because they're gonna need to close the gap to be able to win this match.
Viper, that wall, you know, they probably hate the wall that Just Breathe is doing, because it constantly gives them a pretty hard time, but it seems like here they're going to do a little bit of a cross wall to give them a confusing maze to go through there. Oh, and Chloe getting aggressive up there by herself. Not really getting a pick or anything. Milky Way's just going in. She did not care. It's like the utility here is just... They don't care about it, but Kara's getting that 2K with the classic Classic. The Classic is a deadly gun. That is a gun you do not want to get near. You know, you want to stay as far away as possible because that right click will send you to places you've never seen before.
One enemy remaining.
Oh, and Cho, she's right there. Cho, and she gets it. Cho with the 4K, getting another point on the board. That was amazing. Cho, I am impressed. You know, it's looking pretty good on attacker's side here from Man I Love Vlogs. That was huge. That was a huge play.
It is huge. It is huge because, you know, winning the pistol round is that much more important. You tend to win the second round, most likely, if you win the pistol, and that's what they need to try to close the gap. So hopefully they're able to capitalize on this. We see them buying up to SMGs. And look at this, a gamble for the A site from Just Breathe, while the FROGS seem to have other ideas.
This is like the top 10 saddest anime moments. You have everyone going B side, and everyone's just like kind of running A.
Where's everyone?
They're like, what's going on? And you know, I feel like this is the moment they realized we've messed up. They left no one on B site. They already have the bomb down, and now they're gonna have to play a pretty rough retake, especially since we have Man I Love Vlogs full buying here. You know, Milky Way having a pistol with everyone else having pistols. They're gonna have to play smart, and they're gonna have to really, really do well. But it seems like they're pushing as a team here, although it's not really helping them as much because playing with a Spectre is just as hard. And Cho on a roll here, getting a 3K. You know, Cho, 4K and a 3K, 2 rounds in a row. She's just feeling it right now.
Oh, definitely. And it's just in the nick of time because they're gonna need that so that they can come back on this attack. I love that play. Granted, it was a bit of a gamble from Just Breathe, but it worked out for FROGS. They had plenty of time to do their post-plant positioning. We saw that wall, which is that much more difficult to get through when Just Breathe is on pistols, so that play worked out perfectly. Hopefully they'll be able to string a few more of these together as looks like they will be, you know, on that bonus round for this next round.
A little rough here, you know, that it seems like they fixed the mistake that we made before. They have an anchor on A watching. They have Zoe there kind of waiting for information, and she has it. Switches, trying to get a pick off with that Marshall, and Chloe kind of going in with her stinger, not getting anything, but it seems like they're kind of just waiting. You know, they're not going to push the site as abruptly as Just Breathe has before, but they're going to play a little bit smart here, hoping to get a couple picks before they do. Oh, and it seems like Zoe's going to get a little bit off by Dinos.
Yeah, they know they're on their bonus round. The spike is a little bit left behind. I like that they're trying to get control of hallway, but Just Breathe has already made the rotates to the A site, so if they decide to continue, it's going to be that much rough. That much more rougher.
Oh, they have the bomb there. They're going to have to figure out a way to get that bomb. This is like Mission Impossible. 30 seconds.
That'll do.
They got it though. They're still waiting here, kind of hovering. They do have to push this site. You know, I think it's a little bit too late for a rotation on attacker's side, but it already is looking pretty rough for FROGS. They have 2 people on the board with 3 waiting for a push, but she couldn't get that spike down, and Half a Day is just there with a Spectre. Hoping to get some picks off for the economy, but slowing down behind her, waiting, kind of just sitting here, hoping that no one tries to take her out.
And unfortunately unable to make it out alive that round. Nothing much to save though, just had a Spectre on hand, but that crossfire, I mean, wasn't going to be able to do much. I did like that they were trying to get control of hallway. You can see how sneaky it is when you have someone like lurking pretty much behind you while you're trying to retake the site. But unfortunately too many bodies were down on the end of FROGS, so Just Breathe able to pick that up. But it seems like FROGS will be buying, you know, the rifles with an Ares. So we have the Ares and Hunter's Fury for Cho as they are approaching the B site. But the wall's already up, so they're going to have to make some noise definitely to get through this.
Seems like Sky and Jet are kind of watching mid here, hoping to get a poke. Natty is kind of waiting. Like, come out, please. Like, I have this position, and she gets it off Chloe with a nasty headshot. giving it, to Just Breathe there. But they're kind of waiting. Although it seems like two people are going to try to go A, or they're waiting for a flank or a pick. But it's not looking too good here. They're not going to push up. They're going to stand their ground.
Oh, again?
And she's waiting there.
Hey, that Marshall getting very dangerous, making it that much more difficult for them to try to rotate through mid.
Not kill my ally.
Oh, Cho! Dude, that was like, Natty didn't even like fully peek before Cho got that shot off her, but already it's 4v4. Looking a little scary for Kara there, but Rush takes her out and getting a 3K on Rush. She's like, I'm gonna make this 11-5, but Appidaze is like, I'm not dealing with you right now. I'm gonna go to A site, get this bomb down. She does have that wall, so it can work a little bit in her favor here.
Yeah, I mean, Rush does have a dart available, so she will be able to get information on where, I mean, she knows the spike is down, but she'll be able to get information on where they are hiding for that post-plant position. So not able to spot them out, but that much better in clearing these angles. There's so many angles to clear, and they're pretty much going to dance around the pyramids until they can find each other.
Oh, and it sucks because Rush made a little bit of noise for Appidaze, so she kind of has a general idea of where she is. She's kind of thunderfooting this. Oh, and she's peeking and she knows she's there, but Rush has no idea. Oh, and she didn't even get the bomb, the spike to halfway. She kind of just got off it a little too early, but Appidaze would have had that. It worked in her favor. 6-10. That's huge from going like one in like 8 or 1 in 6.
Yeah, things are definitely looking up for FROGS trying to close this gap. And it was a bit of an expensive round. You can see their wallets looking a little bit empty, but they will be able to buy full up to rifles. They do have a Seekers and a Hunter's Fury available, and those we saw from Just Breathe were perfect for being able to enter a site. So hopefully this trip to the A site will be a bit easy for them.
Seems like here, Viper's gonna sit behind her wall waiting for something, but they're gonna push out. They're gonna get a little bit aggressive. Ellie, playing the duelist role, getting in there for the team, making that space that they really need to get this site. It seems like they're already getting the spike down. It's looking pretty good for FROGS right now. They have the bomb down. Oh, but Zoe, that was, once again, using a classic is just deadly. She takes out the Sova, and she's unstoppable.
Yeah, we have a 4v4 retake to go. Oh, well, nope, not anymore. 4v1. And so much damage already on Zoe.
And Zoe with the classic is just, impeccable. But Appidaze getting that 3K. Off Zoe. It's so rough playing with a classic like that. She got 2 picks off of that. That's pretty good.
Yeah, FROGS looking very different on this half. Like we were saying earlier, they tend to be a more aggressive team on the attack, and that's what has come to light so far. I think that their pushes onto site have been, kind of clean. They have a good amount of utility to be able to get onto site. For example, the Sova drone that came out the last round. But similar to what we saw in the last half, now we have Just Breathe with a Viper's Pit trying to make sure no one's able to come onto the B site. So we'll see if FROGS has the same guts to be able to push through that pit, or if they'll choose the other side.
Yeah, I don't think, FROGS has kind of a different approach, as Just Breathe literally does not care what utility is in front of them. It seems like they play a little bit slower, way slower than Just Breathe. They're playing for picks. And, it has been working. They've been slowly climbing up, kind of getting their way back up there to hopefully be able to tie or even win this game. But, right now, I'm 100% sure they're not going to settle for B, especially with that Viper pip standing there.
Yeah, that wall coming up, making sure that Just Breathe won't be able to do the rotates. So it looks like they'll be heading towards the B site. but again, that Viper's Pit's making it that much more difficult for a split approach.
Oh, and Rush with the Hunter's Fury taking out Joe, but Chloe shutting it down as soon as possible so he can't get another pick off. Seems like Milky Way with the op, taking one. Oh, and getting not another. Appiday is thinking she's sneaky, but she was thunderfooting that. Natty able to get that pick off Appy. Appidays. And Milky Way with the op, just completely taking everyone down. You know, it's scary. When a jet pops out an op, it's pretty scary.
Oh, very scary. And the op is just so great on this map because of the long sight lines. And, you know, she's just scary on it in general. But yeah, the FROGS push onto site was denied. They were a bit slower that round than we've seen before. And with that, we saw them attempt to plant the spike with very few seconds left.
Get out of my way.
So it's a good approach, you know, to mix things up. But when you let the time run down like that, it starts to ruin your options just a little bit.
Seems like they're gonna go for an A push here. They're all kind of settled in, waiting. You know, Viper got that smoke down, but Milky Way taking out Chloe and Joe. She got another one. She's just killing it with this op, literally.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Although Ellie and Milky Way having it out for each other.
Natty just making sure to catch if there are any rotates, and this
Headshot.
looking scary. Let's see if we can another. Okay.
Oh, and Natty getting two, making it a 1v4. Yeah, that was huge on Natty's side. She really did. She subtracted the numbers. It's gonna be harder for Dinos, but Zoe getting that flanked, getting one out. You know, making it match point.
Match point.
We are at match point, yes. Wow. Zoe and on both halves have been so mindful of the flanks and the positioning of the other team and catching them off guard just like that. And that operator has been doing so much work the last few rounds. Those initial picks, I mean, she's been rotating which site she's been holding, and it makes it that much more difficult to predict, you know, which end you're going to, you know, face the end of an operator. So she still has this op for the last round. So Just Breathe is in a very good position to take this map home.
Oh, and Milky Way already really pushed out on mid here. Although she has no idea that they're playing a little bit split. But they're gonna come out. You know, Milky Way has a huge angle here, but she's watching the wrong angle. You know, if they did push out, which they're not, they're gonna go back A, but she would have been able to get a pick or two off of that. It seems like Dinos is gonna walk right into her crosshair, which is pretty scary. Oh, and she sees her, but she misses, and she's not gonna repeat that.
Yeah, and they have 3 ultimates available for this to be able to defend the spike. So they're in a very good position, even though numbers are dropping.
Gun here. Found one.
Ellie's kind of watching this angle. Although Natty's there, she does get this flash out. Huge flash on her part. Oh, and getting the Sage and Natty. It's looking at 2v3. They're not giving it up just yet. They're working their way for this win. Getting one out. Ellie with the 3K. And Appiday is getting taken out by Zoe. Great job, Just Breathe.
No charges left. Defenders win.
All right. So Just Breathe able to win it out on Breeze 13-7. And my, that was an exciting map. We were a little worried for the FROGS in that first half, but for the second half, they were able to pick it up on the attack, but unfortunately unable to clutch it out in the end. So great work to both teams. And like we said, this is a round robin, so they'll be continuing through other rounds in their group. And we're gonna have to wait and see who makes it out on top